In what is said to be a game changer for Jammu and Kashmir's political landscape, the Lok Sabha passed two landmark bills, the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganisation Amendment Bill and Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Amendment Bill. Now, these key bills, which could shape the future of Jammu and Kashmir after the abrogation of Articles 370 and 35A, were termed by Union Home Minister Amit Shah as historic, saying, under Prime Minister's Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas vision, those who suffered atrocities in Jammu and Kashmir will now get their due.
जो बिल लेकर आया हूं, जो विधेयक लेकर इस महान सदन की सहमति प्राप्त करने के लिए मैं खड़ा हुआ हूं, वो बिल 70 सालों से जिन्हों को अन्याय हुआ, जो अपमानित हुए और जिनकी अनदेखी की गई है, वो सभी लोगों को न्याय दिलाने का बिल है, उनको अधिकार दिलाने का।
Now, under the Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Amendment Bill, the reservation will be provided to scheduled tribes, scheduled castes and socially and educationally backward classes in government jobs and admission in professional institutes. Another key feature of this bill sees the phrase weak and underprivileged category being replaced by other backward classes, a lot of them in areas near the line of control and international border. The other legislation, Jammu and Kashmir Reorganisation Amendment Bill, is very significant politically. Under this, the Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir will have 90 seats. Earlier, remember, the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly had 83 seats. Now it will have 90, and here's how. Previously, Jammu had 37 seats and Kashmir had 46. With the new bill, Jammu will have 6 more seats, taking the total to 43, while Kashmir will get 1 additional seat, taking that total to 47. But here's the catch. With this, 9 more seats in the assembly will be reserved for the scheduled tribes. Earlier, remember, there were no seats for them. SCs, meanwhile, will have 7 seats for them. Jammu and Kashmir, as far as tribes are concerned, has 12 tribes currently, which includes Balti, Bakarwal, Gaddi, Brokpa, Mon, etc. And the new bill proposes to add 4 more to this list of scheduled tribes. Apart from this, the LG has also been empowered with the nomination of 2 members from the Kashmiri migrant community, the Kashmiri Pandit community, and 1 person displaced from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Now this, as per the Home Minister, will be the first step towards undoing the mistake of former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru.
2 बड़ी गलतियां जो पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू के प्रधानमंत्री काल में हुई, उनके लिए गए निर्णयों से हुई, इसके कारण सालों तक कश्मीर ने सहन करना पड़ा। एक सबसे बड़ी गलती, जब हमारी सेना जीत रही थी, पंजाब का एरिया आते ही सीज फायर कर दिया गया और पाक ऑक्यूपाई कश्मीर का जन्म हुआ। अगर सीज फायर 3 दिन लेट होता तो पाक ऑक्यूपाई कश्मीर आज भारत का हिस्सा।
Meanwhile, the allotted seats for Pakistan-occupied Kashmir continue to remain 24. Now, the opposition, as expected, is not in line with the centre over these new bills. They fiercely protested in the Lok Sabha and even staged a walkout. Listen to some of the reactions that came in.
जम्मू कश्मीर के लोगों का हक है कि वो अपने वोट का इस्तेमाल करके अपने हुक्मरान का फैसला करें। हमें अब लगातार 2014 के बाद इस फैसले से महरूम रखा जा रहा है और ये एक अजीब सा फिक्स्ड मैच खेला जा रहा है। जब आप हुकूमत से बात करो, वो कहते हैं कि फैसला इलेक्शन कमीशन को करना है। जब आप इलेक्शन कमीशन से सवाल करते हो, वो कहते हैं कि हमें हुकूमत के साथ मशवरा करके इसमें कोई कदम उठाना होगा।
Was over under Amit Shah to say in the parliament that the Kashmiri Pandits were displaced due to the vote banks and they are being neglected by the local politicians. How do you see this bill and the speech of the Home Minister in the parliament today?
See, as far as the bill is concerned, I haven't heard that what the Home Minister has said yet. But as far as the bill is concerned, we have opposed this bill. The reason why I'm opposing this bill is that the nomination process has always been there in the erstwhile state also. You know, the political representation was already there. You know, the upper house of J&K Assembly, MLCs were earlier also being nominated. So there were Kashmiri Pandits, you know, who were being made MLCs and representatives in the government.
ये सेकंड प्रोवाइजो ये है, जब धारा 3 में आप किसी भी स्टेट को रीऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं तो बगैर उसकी असेंबली को कॉन्फिडेंस में लिए आप वो रीऑर्गेनाइजेशन नहीं कर सकते। और इसीलिए मैं कह रहा हूं, जो आपने 5-6 अगस्त 2019 को किया, उसकी न्यू आपने दिसंबर 2018 में रखी थी। एक बात। दूसरा, जब आपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल ऑर्डर 272 निकाला और 367(4) उसमें प्रावधान किया और कहा कि लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली का मतलब भारत की संसद है, आप ये भूल गए जब आपने पार्लियामेंट को जम्मू कश्मीर की असेंबली में तब्दील किया। तो जम्मू कश्मीर संविधान की धारा 147 है, which says that no bill can be entertained in the legislative assembly which changes the constitutional arrangements between Jammu and Kashmir and the Union of India.
All right, joining me on the show today, RP Singh of the BJP, Dr. Ramesh Raina, President, All India Kashmiri Samaj, Advocate Nikhil Jain, he's a political analyst, and Najmu Saqib of the PDP also joins us. Good evening and welcome to all of you gentlemen. Namaskar. Najmu Saqib, let me start with you. What's the problem if the government is passing and pushing for these two bills which aim for better and more representation of those who have been neglected in the past?
Honestly, first of all, there are multiple dimensions to the problem that we are discussing and talking about today. The first and foremost is the issue of tactical rigging. You know, the whole country is aware about 1987 rigging process in Jammu and Kashmir, but there is more dangerous sort of tactical rigging. It's a fixed match sort of thing that is being in vogue currently. That is before everyone to see. You see, first of all, we had delimitation commission giving more seats to Jammu while Kashmir has more population. So that again was a basic first step to sort of decide the outcome of the elections. I mean, what is the purpose of having the elections then if you decide the outcome of that particular process? That's number one. Second point is that it very vehemently and very clearly sort of manifests the intentions of the Bharatiya Janata Party that they do not want to strengthen the democratic institutions and the democratic process in Jammu and Kashmir. Look, we are not still recovering from the 87 rigging process, and now they want to sort of decide the outcome of any election process that is going to happen. Number one. Number two, the question of nomination. Look, we have always had the system of nomination in Jammu and Kashmir. We don't have an issue with this. Look, in our government, in PDP, BJP last government, the political advisor who was the rank of the cabinet minister was a Kashmiri Pandit. You know, we had people from West Pakistan, refugees nominated as MLCs. You know, we never had an issue with that. In our last assembly, in 2014 assembly, we had close to 12 members from scheduled caste and scheduled tribe community. We never had an issue with it. But the problem comes, let's say if tomorrow you want to say that you want to give reservation to 1% of the population, you want to give 2 seats. What if Muslims of India tomorrow decide that, we want 14% reservation in the Parliament of India? Will you be okay with that? I think, look, if you want to strengthen it, if you want to sort of, lay good foundations of democracy in Jammu and Kashmir, then you need to have a fair play. You know, what you do in the rest of the country, you cannot have an isolated sort of script for Jammu and Kashmir and deprive them. Look, in 2019, Home Minister promised like we will have a state. If we are going to give state status to Jammu and Kashmir, let them decide their own future. You know, it is a federal structure. It is an assault on the federal structure of the India. We don't have a problem with anything. It's okay. As I said in 2014 assembly, we had 12 members from SC and ST community. Look, they want to sort of start this campaign for 2024 parliament election, and Jammu and Kashmir always becomes the the political ground for that.
Okay, RP Singh, you want to respond to that, the BJP and the government is doing it just because you want to predetermine the outcome of the elections that will eventually take place in Jammu and Kashmir when they do?
Can I make a request? Can you ask the Congress spokesperson also to come on board so that when they both, like now PDP has spoken, let the Congress person also speak. I'll answer to both of them together, because then again he'll raise certain questions after my speaking. I'll appreciate it. My request is that.
Okay. Okay, so we don't have a Congress spokesperson. They did not come. We did invite them for the show. They did not come. But I have Advocate Nikhil Jain with me,
Nikhil is as
who
much
I
as a
believe
congressman
is
as
against these bills.
Shreya, the problem has
Nikhil,
already
go
been
ahead.
reiterated by
Then
we are
as
your
RP
Congress
Singh
hand.
said, he
that
will
the number
respond.
of yeah, Shreya, the problem has already been reiterated. It's a multiple layer problem. Number one, the entire process of abrogating Article 370 was unconstitutional. It is challenged before the Supreme Court. That Article 370 could not have been abrogated without the consent of the Jammu and Kashmir Constituent Assembly, which at the time of abrogation did not exist. Secondly, the delimitation that has taken place and the seats for the Kashmir division has been increased by only 1 seat, and for the Jammu division has been increased by 6 seats, so as to give us 43 and 47 seats. The difference between the two is very little, despite the fact that the population of the Jammu division, as per the latest census, is 5.4 million, and the population of the Kashmir division is 6.9 million. So far as the nominated seats for Kashmiri Pandits are concerned and people displaced from POK is concerned, that is a welcome step, I believe. But as the PDP spokesperson had earlier also spoken, that the provision for nominating people is not something that is new, that's been come up. And also the point that the fact that the Prime Minister and the Home Minister and everybody from the BJP establishment had told the people of Jammu and Kashmir and the people of India that statehood would be restored soon. Yet after 4.5 years of that action having been taken, we are still deliberating about giving an assembly with a union territory status and not completely and fully restoring the statehood. And let's not forget that Jammu and Kashmir has been under President's rule since 2018. So 5.5 years, about 6 years, the people of Jammu and Kashmir have been without any represented government of their own. It is a government of bureaucrats, a government of nominees, and I don't think that is setting the right democratic example. So far as the other remarks by the Home Minister are concerned, that we are fixing a wrong that Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of the country, did. I'm sorry, but he has no standing in international relations, in governing the country or building the country when it comes to Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru was the one, along with Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and other leaders from the Congress at the time, who made sure that 565 princely states across the territory, which we now call India, merged with the erstwhile Dominion of India, merged with the Dominion of India at the time, which was erstwhile British territories, and they did a tremendous job at it. For them to have this erstwhile princely state of Jammu and Kashmir accede to the Union of India, which was predominantly a Hindu majority country, while the state that was being merged was a predominantly Muslim country, sovereign kingdom, having a boundary with Pakistan, that was a huge feat in its own right. The culture of Jammu and Kashmir obviously was very different from the culture in the rest of the country, and therefore they demanded certain special privileges at the time of merger, which was granted to them. There was a separate constitution, a separate flag, and separate things. Amit Shah also raised the point that how can you have multiple different flags in the same country? I think he's not aware of the fact that multiple states in the country have their own flags. Different constitutions was a point at the time of was a point and a condition at the time of merger. And last thing he's talking about, ek hi jhanda hona chahiye. May I remind him and all his friends from the BJP that the RSS, the ideological parent of the BJP, did not adopt the Indian tricolour until 2002, 3 years after the BJP had first become a government at the center. So let's not have Amit Shah and other people from the BJP pretend that they have some deep found love for the tricolour.
Okay. RP Singh, now would you like to respond?
Yes, sure. I knew that Nikhil has a point of view, and Nikhil has a strong point of view that is a Congress point of view, and he's reflecting it also. I mean, he wears two hats. He wears the hat of a Congress person, and he wears the hat of a independent analyst also. But as he is, not an issue at all. Let's understand. I mean, Mr. Nikhil Jain said that at the time of merger, the special privilege was given. No, sir. I'm sorry, sir. It is the same agreement which is signed with all other princely states. There's no difference, not a comma, not a full stop, not a semicolon. The difference between the which was signed between India and Jammu, that time princely state, and it was all the same. There's no difference at all. Although the later on from the back door, 35A was introduced, which has never got to the parliament, and 370 was also brought into the in the domain. Although at that time it was categorically said it is a temporary provision. It will not last long. But as Congress has been, they wanted to get some special privilege because they were looking for some certain vote bank politics, and also this was the only princely state which Nehru dealt himself, which was never dealt by Sardar Patelji. Sardar Patelji was against of Nehru raising this question in the UN Assembly also, where he went and raised a question and then said that we are there. He took the issue to the UN Assembly and said that we are there for for people to vote for whether they want to stay in India or in Pakistan. This was there done by Nehru, and also that Amit Shah ji was right. Had we not done ceasefire for 3 days, we would have had no problem of Pakistan occupied Jammu Kashmir. We would have had the complete Kashmir with us. And now coming to the issue of the job done by the Parliament today, there are 47 seats for the Kashmir and 43 for the Jammu. This is not being done, and although the seats are still more for the Kashmir, for the valley, and it is not being done only on basis of population or only basis of area. It's done on various other counts, which is topography of the area, which is the density of the area, and other facilities which are there. It's not that, and this was declared much in advance, and everyone came and submitted their request, submitted their proposition as per the parameters laid by the delimitation committee. So it's not that something has come as a bolt to them. Secondly, I mean, why they are hesitating from giving reservation to scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and other OBCs or people who really need it? I mean, why there's a problem in that? I mean, why you have an issue on that? And then on appointing two people from the Kashmiri migrants, I mean, why you have an issue with that? I mean, why are you saying that now the rest of the country, 14% will ask for the reservation? Do Kashmir, Muslims in the country suffered as Kashmiri Pandits suffered in the valley? Were they thrown out of the valley? More than 5 lakh Kashmiri Pandits were thrown out of the valley in 1989. I mean, had that happened with the Muslims in the country? They are equal partners. They rather have more share of government advantages which comes to the people, like for example, all the government schemes, more than 30% of the advantages goes to Muslims, although the population is only 14%, and no one raises question on this. When whether it's the housing, whether it's the Ayushman Bharat, whether it is the Kisan Samman Nidhi, you go through the data, it's almost 30% plus. So no one raises, no one says why they are getting so much of it. I mean, they deserve it, they get it. Here also, because Kashmiri Pandits deserve this, because it is they were thrown out of the valley, and then it will take time for them to heal their wound and bring them back to the main fold.
Okay, Najmo, I know you wanted to respond. Let me also first get in Dr. Ramesh Raina, who's been patiently listening to us. Nikhil and Najmo, I'll come back to you. Dr. Raina, what do you make of these arguments by the PDP and Nikhil Jain, who suggests that, you know, Jammu has been given more representation while Kashmir has more population, and therefore, you know, more number of seats and more representation should have been given. Also, the fact that the nominated members by the LG will be done from the Kashmiri migrants community.
For giving me an opportunity to speak from your platform. First of all, it has been a habit with the local politicians of the country, of the state, and the mainstream parties of the J&K state if government of India sneezes, even if they sneeze, they create problems, they create obstacles, they try to find out faults in the argument. See, the Reorganization Act of 2019 was in itself a historic step taken by the government of India in ensuring that Kashmir is fully and completely constitutionally integrated with the rest of the country. And thereafter, the flows, the laws that were prevalent in the rest of the country started flowing into Kashmir also. And the result was that we could hold programs like G20 and all those things, and Kashmir is fully on the path of development these days. Now, as far as the reservation is concerned, and as far as their alleged argument that this is going to do injustice with the people of Kashmir, I want to ask them one very simple question. You see, Kashmiri Pandits had one constituency by the name Habakadal, which was predominantly inhabited by Kashmiri Pandits. And most of the times we used to get our political representation from Habakadal constituency. Now, what happened? There was gerrymandering of the constituency to such an extent that we lost the Kashmiri Pandit character of that constituency, and thereafter no Kashmiri Pandit got elected from that constituency, which was in fact a deliberate act. And nobody told them that time that you are doing injustice to Kashmiri Pandits. In fact, we have been victims of this injustice and threat perception for all these years. And if a step is being taken by government of India to ensure the political participation of Kashmiri Pandits and giving a political voice to Kashmiri Pandits, and also giving representation to scheduled caste, scheduled tribes who genuinely and richly deserve. Just tell me one thing, Valmikis have been there from ages together in J&K, doing all sorts of jobs. Yet they never got any opportunity to cast their vote, or for that matter, to be part of the political process of the state. So this today's act has to be seen.
All right, Dr. Rena. Yeah.
This act has to be seen.
Najmu and Nikhil, quickly 30 seconds to both of you. Yeah, I'll have to wrap this up. 30 seconds quickly to both of you. Najmu, you first.
Can I make a point, please?
They are feeding. They are talking about minorities. RP Singh should be ashamed that Kashmiri Sikhs suffered the same and they have not got the reservation, while Kashmiri Pandits will get the reservation. So he should be ashamed today representing his community, while they have got zilch, absolutely zilch, and they have suffered the same. Right? So look, there is the dilemma, right? It becomes very evident. So the more important point that I want to focus on is that if you want to strengthen the institution of democracy, and by the way, before I come to the question of democracy, why are you dividing and dividing the pie when there is no pie at all? Look, as Nikhil rightly said, it has been close to 6 years now that there are no elections. What are you dividing? You don't have any intentions of holding an election. You don't have any intention of giving a statehood. Why are you sort of feeding opium? Because they know their position in Jammu and in Kashmir is absolutely in shambles. They have gotten to a position where they cannot hold any elections. They're talking about decentralization. They're talking about Panchayati Raj Act. Look, municipalities in Jammu and Kashmir, both in Jammu and in Srinagar, they have finished their tenure. They cannot hold municipality elections. Sarpanches and BDCs, their tenure is over. They cannot even hold the elections. That is their position. That is their reality.
All right. Okay.
There is no question of holding assembly elections because they know they will be wiped out in Jammu and in Kashmir. So they continuously drip feed this sort of opium to the masses, where they want to put them into this fit of delusion where everything is happy and hunky-dory. But the reality is different.
Okay. RP Singh, I'll come to you. Nikhil Jain, make your point quickly, and then RP Singh, I'll come to you. Nikhil, you first.
Shreya, to be very clear, I don't have any reservations or objections to the seats being given to the Kashmiri Pandits. Yes, it would have been better had Kashmiri Pandits actually elected their representatives instead of the government nominating them. Secondly, I would like to correct RP Singh Saab when he said that the instrument of taxation for all the states was same. They are not. I will read out clause 7 and clause 8 of the instrument of taxation of Jammu and Kashmir. In short, nothing in this instrument shall be construed as in any way acceptance of any future constitution of India. That is to mean all the amendments in the constitution as well. Nothing in this instrument affects the continuance of my sovereignty in and over the state, my being the Maharaja of Kashmir. So, sir, Jammu and Kashmir's accession, instrument of accession was different from that of rest of princely states, which is why Article 370 had to be introduced. But Amit Shah is not going to tell the country about all of these nitty-gritties of constitution, law, international relations. He's just trying to use Kashmir and the people of Kashmir for his own political gains, and that is probably the biggest problem of everybody in the opposition.
Okay, RP Singh, last word to you. Please respond. You wanted to make a point.
Very, very small point. Nikhil Jain, I give you a challenge. I'll send you a copy of the all instrument, and then please go through them. They're the same. There's no change between any of the instrument of accession. One. Secondly, Nikhil Jain said that Constituent Assembly could have decided on what has to be done in what law has to be done or what law has not to be changed in the Kashmir. Sir, Constituent Assembly of Jammu Kashmir was dissolved on 26 January 1957. It's the assembly which is empowered, and the power of the assembly is with the governor. So governor is taking a call on that, and today there is peace in Jammu Kashmir. Today Jammu Kashmir is on the way of growth trajectory. There are more than 1 crore 30 lakh visitors or the tourists in last season. There is no black flags or ISI flags being hoisted now. There is Tiranga being hoisted in each and every village today.
All right. All right, we'll leave it there. RP Singh, Dr. Ramesh Raina, Nikhil Jain and Najmu Saqib, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on Mirror Now tonight and sharing your perspective on these two bills that have been passed in our House. They next go to Rajya Sabha, and if they're passed there, this will be enacted into a law. We will have to see how Jammu and Kashmir's political landscape makes its journey, but for now, it's a wrap on Beyond the Headline. News and updates will continue on the other side. Thank you very much for joining us right now. Bye-bye.